Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Ready to Love. We're now on episode 12. I'm going to try and make this a snippet at this point. I'm working hard, y'all. So, housekeeping rules. You walk in here, please hit the like button. What do I say? Please hit the like button. You haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button below the screen. And last but not least, but more importantly, let me know what you guys think as we're going through this, because we're getting toward the tail end. So we want to talk about lessons, because that's the whole point of me talking about this with y'all. That's the whole point of me sitting down and really paying attention to these episodes and us sitting down and doing a kiki over it, because we want to come away with something that we can use. So first and foremost, we start this episode. What's this episode is? Episode 12 is called Too Much Baggage. We kind of know what they were making reference to, but yeah, let me just say what it is. So this Too Much Baggage reference here is really has to do with, what's his name? Andre's sister, Camille. Or is it Camille? What her name is? I don't remember what her name is. But Andre's sister, we feel like his choices are baggage, because both his choices have children and he doesn't have one. As a family member, I can get where she's coming from with that. Like, you don't want that for your fam. Yeah, I get that. But we jump in ahead, so let's start from the beginning. Starts with the gents lounge, and nephew Tommy's kind of letting the guys know that, yo, as far as he's concerned, well, whatever, I don't know if that's how he feel, but they told him to say that he, finding love is not a solo thing, it involves a tribe. You're gonna need the approval of your peoples. So he let them know this is the episode where your family, where the guy's family that is gonna meet their interest, their love interest. Truth is, yo, how y'all feel about that? Like, I mean, nowadays in the Western world, your family doesn't dictate who you end up with, and that's good and bad. But if we just talk generally, if you have a family that their head is correct, in Nigerian terminology, if their head is correct and they're not temperamental, it helps to get feedback, because they'll see things you didn't see. Period. Point blank. They will see things you're not seeing. You may not necessarily be able to see it in real time or agree with them, but they'll also won't be pushy enough. They'll say something, they'll just whisper in your ear that I've noticed this, and see what you'll do with it, and just tell you not to rush. The minute you don't rush, you will eventually see what they're making reference to, whether it's something you can live with or something you can't. It's good to know those things up front before you enter a union with someone who's got some things you're not sure about. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, so he's saying it's time to meet the family. First, Tony's sister Regina's there. So Regina meets up with his only Tony's only option, Morgan. And I think just of note here is Morgan has made mention about them needing therapy as a couple, and Regina looking at her like cross-eyed, like, huh? Therapy? Y'all just a couple? But and this is, I get both sides. So on one end, Morgan rightfully says that, this is an aggressive process, so that means they've covered quite a bit. So it would only make sense for them to do therapy, being that this is not a normal vacuum. It's not a normal scenario or container in which they've met and dated and courted. And then on the other hand, sister's like, y'all just known each other about 5 minutes. Like, therapy to do what exactly? I get that too. Like, if you have to do therapy right now, what you gonna do later? What you gonna do when you got 3 kids and they're all under the age of 6, and then maybe somebody's not bringing in money that they need to, things aren't going straight? What's gonna happen then? Like, you're gonna need 3 therapists? So I get both sides. Sis likes her, but she like, this girl talking about therapy, like, I don't know if this is for you. I get that. Next person of note, Anthony has a friend, Chris, who meets Cynthia. Cynthia always knocked the ball out the park, always, because Anthony mentioned to his friend that his misgivings, he had the apprehensions he had about Cynthia with her baby father, who we remember from a couple episodes back, who was just having fun playing a villain. Like, he all of 5'4", I don't know if he's 5'4", I'm just talking. All of 5'4", trying to mess the boys around. He did rattle Andre's cage a little bit, but he couldn't get to Anthony. Anthony's like, I'm not a small boy. I don't know who you're talking to. Like, here, take my number. I'll holler at you later. But he started misgivings because he's going to have to deal with this guy regularly. And he didn't think he wanted to do that. Something Cynthia said here, she's like, my past don't dictate my future. Yo, like, this girl be doing one-liners. She must be a bit of a lyricist. Because she's, let me repeat that. Because the guy's asking about the ex and blah, blah, blah. You know, and all she says, my past don't dictate my future. Like, gee, like, okay. Like, that's kind of, I don't know. Now I kind of get what Andre is saying. Because she got some quick, slick comebacks. So anyway, going on to Andre and his ladies. First person that arrives is Cynthia. Cynthia's like in a regular dress, a short skirt and top. Anyway, then in comes Jeffrey. Now I remember, like, when I saw Jeffrey, like, I remember thinking, but it didn't register what the was. Immediately Cynthia brought it to my attention. The was, and Miss Jeffrey was in a church gown, like got frills up to here, and you know, it was right at her shins. Like, yo, Jeffrey's a cool plotter. Like, ooh, she's a gangster. She a gangster. Don't play with Jeffrey. Don't play with Jeffrey. Jeffrey's not here to lose, and Jeffrey's not playing with you. Anyway, I think her name is Camilla. Anyway, so Camilla, Andre's sister. Talk about, yeah, I don't care for neither of these two. Like, they both have children and you don't. End of story. That's it. Like, I mean, she does ask a question about how you, like, you know, that question, like, what you bring to the table. You know, Cynthia comes up with a little smart, nice little thing to let her know that she at the table. So don't worry about that. My children are already fathered, so he's just going to be a bonus dad. They don't need another dad. He'll just be the bonus. Don't worry about the money because I got it. Now my girl, Jeffrey can't say that. So Jeffrey feeling a little less than. Because Jeffrey don't have the fathers of her children involved in their lives. And she don't got the income that Cynthia bringing in. So Jeffrey need it. So Jeffrey feeling a little bit like, But long and short of it is, I get where Andre's sister is coming from. If my brother doesn't have children, why do I want to see him with a woman with 3 children? I'm sorry. Depending on who's looking, it's a liability. I'm sorry, we are talking about children. It's true. Yes, we are. But truth is, he don't have children. Like, if you mutually had children, then I'd be like, okay, I get this. But no, like, he coming in off the bat, he's going to have to father 3 kids. So she don't like either of them, but she says she prefers Cynthia over Jeffrey. Andre don't want to hear this, because Andre wants Jeffrey. So anyway, there's another meeting between Morgan and Tony. And he wants to talk about, you know, the discussion about her saying that they needed therapy. And off the top, like, as they get going, the first thing that comes to my mind is, my good sis is trying to use the cancelling to smooth over the very obvious red flags, the very obvious caution, don't move, stop, that she's feeling. Like, she's seeing something and she's feeling something. And in order to give herself some kind of rest, like when you feel like in order to get rid of that feeling, she's talking about cancelling. Because at this point, I think she likes this guy a lot. More than her just not wanting to be off this show. I think she really likes Tony. And she's trying to help herself sleep better at night if she says they'll do cancelling. And then she brings up something about Natasha. I don't remember Natasha. I had to go look for Natasha's picture. And for your sake, I'm going to throw up Natasha's picture because I don't remember her. Apparently she left the first day. Maybe she did. That's why I don't remember her. Apparently something happened between Natasha and Tony. So I'm going to give Tony points for, you know, disclosing this to Morgan. But why did Morgan need to bring it up to us? Was she preemptively trying to prevent herself? Because now she's seeing stuff is rolling out and it's looking kind of crazy. So she's preemptively trying to prevent this from being a shocker at the reunion. I don't know. There's none that happened for no reason. Like, we didn't know it. I don't know, did one of the producers say it's going to come out? Something happened for Morgan to want to say this. Like, so Morgan brings it up. Like, you know, gonna play him for sis. Then she goes on, and this is one of the things I don't really agree with that we women do, is like, why are you disqualifying Natasha, calling her low-hanging fruit and calling all these names? Like, does do nothing to you? And that's what Tony was trying to say, but it was wrong place, wrong time. But she calls her all these names and then says that he don't have standards. And at that point, that's when I turned to Morgan. Morgan's not here, but I'm turning to Morgan. I'm like, Morgan, the question isn't whether he has standards. The question is whether you have standards for yourself. Because you have all these misgivings, all these concerns about red flags, about Tony, but you're still here trying to smooth it over. So I dare to say you're mad with yourself and not mad. It's not him you're mad at yourself. And that's the thing I feel that we do or are doing as women. You haven't invested your whole life here. Like, if you need to cut your losses with tears, cut your losses with tears and keep it moving. Don't keep investing. What do finance people say? Don't throw good money after bad money. Like, at this point, it looked like you're throwing good money after bad money because you're feeling the need to do too much. Like, this is too early to have to do all of this. Like, calling on, you know, it's like, so now we're seeing the other side of Morgan where she's looking like this or she's looking like that, like she's trying to be pushy. No, she's trying to make up for the thing in the pit of her stomach that's telling her do her not something that you get that warning where it's proceed with caution. This is the bell going off. Do not proceed. Stop, alert. But she's still trying to go ahead because there's something about him that she likes. Because he looked like a provider and he looks like he's this and he looks like he's that, and she wants to get married and have that, you know, white picket fence and the 2.5 kids and the dog. Morgan, I dare say you haven't done all the work you need to do, because I feel like when we haven't done that work, we feel that the person that will really be there for us in more ways than one, if we've done the work, we'll know he's out there. When we haven't done the work, we feel pressure to settle. And that's what she's feeling. She's feeling pressure to settle for something that resembles something that she can work with, she can mold. But there are too many bells going off here. That's what I'm saying. There are too many bells going off here. But she's feeling the pressure to settle for something that resembles something that she wants, but she's gonna have to mold it. You know, I feel like something, and I think men do this better, and I guess just because they're just more analytical, but we are less logical when we let our feelings get into these things, and maybe that's why we need to be cold as ice. We need to almost be bitchy when we meet someone. I'm sorry, because that protects us. Like, yo, I'm just gonna say, y'all be bitchy. You meet someone, don't get to like him. Be bitchy about it, because then you can still be analytical and logical. Because the minute you like someone, you stop being logical. Because the truth is, when I look at Tony, like I said, Tony's my guy, but you know, I love these analogies. But my analogy here is, a lion is not suddenly going to wake up and become a monkey. Like, Tony not going to wake up and become somebody else, right? So why are we just hoping? Like, she's like hoping for something different. Usually, in my experience, when something is wrong, it's never just one thing. It's going to be a host of things, but we don't acknowledge those things until we're on the other end, when the rainbow is vanished and it's dust and it's dark and it's dirty and you're mad. Like I said, a lion isn't going to suddenly wake up and become a monkey. The guy you're looking at is not all of a sudden going to become that prince, you know, Prince Charming. He's not all of a sudden going to be kind when he's mad. He's not all of a sudden going to show emotion or be vulnerable with you. All of a sudden, he wasn't like that in the very beginning of the dating. He didn't do that. But you're hoping that when things get tougher, he's all of a sudden going to have those tools. He's not. But there's something that we as women have. It keeps us going. It helps us build homes. That hope we rest on, that he's going to be different. It's going to be different. Most of the time it isn't different. It is very difficult to tame a wild animal. That's why I said that a lion is not all of a sudden going to be a monkey. It's not going to suddenly become a house pet. Like you get like a lion from the wild. Is a lion from the wild. And you try and tame that. And you're not a professional tamer. Even a professional tamer is going to walk away with scars. Might even lose some fingers. I don't know, I'm just saying. So that's what it looks like. Like, that's what this makes me think of. We have a quick meeting with Jeffrey and Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony noticed that Jeffrey has pulled away, and she confirmed that she's pulled away. I don't know if that was a little too hasty. Like, I'm feeling Jeffrey that maybe that was a little too hasty, but I don't know. Y'all tell me, you think that was a little too hasty? Like, it's not over till it's over. Like, don't throw a towel in. Wait till the next episode. I don't know. That's how I feel. Maybe she's trying to leave and not get left. I don't know, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. But I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit too soon. Andre has a meeting with Cynthia. So his objective for this meeting is to let Cynthia go softly so he can focus on Jeffrey. But as the meeting goes in, my girl says something about like she's got two of the best guys, but she can't say the same for him. Like, it's a new Cynthia. I've not seen this Cynthia before. I'm like, who? Cynthia say what? You talking about Jeffrey like that? I know you're probably not feeling her like that, but you calling her like bottom of the barrel. She didn't say that, but I'm just saying like, like, I felt like she was good with Tony, Anthony, NP, but now that Andre is trying to let her off softly, she's not agreeing, and I'm taken aback. Like, I'm like, huh? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm confused because this would have been a perfect. So is she playing chess, or is she still actually interested in Andre? Can she not see what the rest of us are seeing? Andre not into her like that. Like, Andre like her because she's a good option, but he prefers Jeffrey. So I'm confused. That really threw me. I'm like, huh? He left not being able to do what he wanted to do because he tried to be a good guy. Like, that's not going to, her position, in my opinion, it's not going to change his mind. But I mean, I could be wrong, it's my opinion. But I don't feel like her, position is going to make him suddenly feel like, oh, you're a good option. No, that delayed the inevitable. He wants Jeffrey. He doesn't want Cynthia. He wants Jeffrey. I just feel like, sis looked like she was fighting for a spot. Like, if you have to fight for your spot, if you're having this conversation, he's made his mind up already. And yeah. I want us real life, like somebody's trying to sit down when you have that conversation, be graceful, let him have that conversation and let it go. Like, I'm confused as to why she didn't let it go. She didn't let him do what he wanted to do. That chick is a gangster. She a businesswoman, right? Like, she a gangster, but I'm just like, so Andre ends it up with like he wasn't able to do what he wanted to do because he was confused. No, he didn't do what he wanted to do because he didn't want to come off looking like a jackass. Like, he doesn't all of a sudden want Cynthia more than Jeffrey. I don't believe that. Like, he's not confused about that. Like, he's confused about how he's going to look, but he's not confused about that. But anyway, guys, end of this episode. Now we're going to go into the real episode, the final current episode, and then we'll talk in length. But guys, these have not been snippets. These have been long videos. My bad. But anyway, don't forget to like the video. Drop a comment. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Y'all, thanks for watching. Lola, over and out.